Hello, Coolman69 here with another Topic of the Week video. This one will be over Attack on Titan. Oh, what a joy. This week's topic was submitted by Just Absolutely Super. Her topic was, where do you think SNK's story went wrong, and how would you have changed it? I have a lot to say about Attack on Titan. Okay, let's try to keep this more concise. I actually have an anti-Attack on Titan tag and an anti-Isayama tag on my blog. That's how much I hate Attack on Titan. That's how many issues are in this. I have to start cataloging this on my blog. But, okay. Before I get into where I think SNK went wrong, let me tell you where Attack on Titan... just let me go over some of the core issues with Attack on Titan before I get into this one moment. Now, I'm going to tell you, there will be spoilers galore. I'm not even going to hold back at all with spoilers. So, but trust me, this series is not worth the spoilers. It's not worth trying not to be spoiled. It really isn't. But if you don't want to get spoiled at all, then by all means, stop watching. Alright. You probably don't care about spoilers, or you already caught up. So, what are some of the core issues that make Attack on Titan bad? Now, one of the main reasons, this is actually something that I complained about even back when I liked Attack on Titan, because I used to love Attack on Titan. I used to love Attack on Titan. Watched the anime, I was reading the manga, I was drawing art, I was even playing that fan-made game, which is pretty fun. That was a long time ago. Anyway, what are some of the core issues with Attack on Titan? The really, really, really dark themes, and the fact that the bleakness of this world is shoved in your face at every opportunity. I'm not against establishing a really dark world. I'm not against establishing a bleak world. What I am against, though, is constantly pushing it in your face. I should my phone ring. Or bleep or whatever. Anyway. When you're writing something, you need to establish the scenes. You need to establish the setting, establish the tone, and establish the themes. You need to do this fairly early. You need to make sure it's concise and that it's clear to the reader. It starts off very quick early on in the Trust arc. It was the best arc in the entire series and the only one that was an actual completed arc. I'll mention this a little bit later, but I'll probably save that more for a possible other video about talking about the arcs. It's constantly talked about how it takes, I believe in the manga, Jean said it takes 30 people on average to kill a single Titan, which is utter bullcrap, because we know that the Survey Corps is full of people who can kill dozens of Titans without breaking a sweat. But why does he say this? To push the bleakness, to make it go, oh, this is so dark and edgy. And I think that's one of the reasons why it caught a lot of people's attention and why people started falling for it, is because so many people like dark and edgy stuff because it makes them feel smarter. It makes them feel more mature. And I wasn't mad about some of the deaths at first. Of course, Aaron's mom dies very early on. Typical parent or guardian or mentor dies, sending the main character on an emotional quest, whatever. Alright. And it was a fairly well done scene, mainly in the anime, because of the manga, it's just like, it happens. a lot of stuff in the manga. I mean, alright, I'll get that as another issue. Oh my gosh, the lack of drama. But anyway, there's a character named Franz who is sort of dating this girl named Hannah. And they're actually really adorable, and you find Franz dead during the attack on Trost. And I believe it was Armin who found Hannah with Franz's corpse, and it's horrifying. And then later, Jean finds Marco's body, and it's just, wow, these are people you knew, and they're dead. This sets the stage of no one's safe. But the problem is, this is constantly shoved, and people are constantly killed. And this only really happens in the Female Titan arc, which is the preceding arc after Trost. But unless you count the trial as its own arc, but the story is a mess anyway. But those two deaths were good because they set the scene. Marco's death was actually incredibly important to the story. It was incredible. It was important for Jean's character development. It was important for Aaron's. It was important for everyone in the 104. His death inspired everyone to listen to Aaron to go into the Survey Corps. And that's a big deal. The problem is that I actually have compared his death to Maze Hughes' death in Full Metal Alchemist as a very important plot moment that rings for several characters even far past their death. The whole deal with Tross and some of the plot line, some of the scenes and chapters immediately after that, this is all very important. I mean, Jean very much struggles with Marco's death. And this is great. This is great character stuff. But it's pissed away because nothing is ever really developed. Past the Trost arc, nothing develops. This is a problem that I said I'd get to. No arc after Trost actually concludes. There's too many things about this that are shocking swerve. Like the arc after it, Trost, is called the Female Titan arc. When originally there was no hint of a female Titan. It only became known about that when all of a sudden the Female Titan comes out and everyone's like, yes, this is exactly what I prepared for. You're just like, what? Weren't we going to Aaron's basement? And this happens with a lot of arcs, especially later on in the manga. It'll set up a story, it'll start moving towards something, and something comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you're dealing with a completely different storyline, and you're sitting there like, there's no emotional, and this leads to something, a big problem. There's no payoff. This is a big problem with Attack on Titan. There is no payoff. It's like Lost. I've compared it to Lost a lot. Lost would constantly be throwing all these mysteries out. When you're watching the show, you're like, oh my god, all these mysteries. I'm going to come up with all these theories to try to explain everything. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to analyze, going to rewatch episodes, going to look at that. Man, did you see that one scene where Jack was dead? Oh my god. I was in the Lost for 4 years. I watched the show for 4 years, only to get the middle finger in the final episode. And when I was reading Attack on Titan, I started noticing a lot of similarities, and I was saying this to my friends. I told Angel99 this very early, even before she started giving up on Attack on Titan. I'm like, this reminds me of Lost, and she's like, no, it's not that bad. It's not. I mean, and I'm like, this is going to be horrible. Everyone's going to scream about how much they hate it. You're gonna not like it. And she's like, no, it's fine. She agrees with me now that she's actually seen stuff from Lost. But as with Lost, there's no payoff. There's no emotional payoff. There's no narrative payoff. There's no payoff for your investments. There's a big conspiracy storyline going on in Attack on Titan The problem is that we don't actually get any good views of this. We don't get any good explanations. We don't get reveals, or at least actual good reveals that make sense. I also contrast Attack on Titan with Fullmetal Alchemist, because Fullmetal Alchemist also has a conspiracy plotline. But the thing with Fullmetal Alchemist is that every step of the way you're learning something. Every step you're getting closer to the conclusion, the inevitable conclusion that the manga leads up to. Manga/Brotherhood, since they follow the same storyline. You learn a lot, and by the end of the series, you pretty much know everything there is to know. You know who the main bad guy is, you know where he came from, you know all the backstory that's left and seemingly hidden. You get all this backstory about the Ishvalan extermination, or the Ishvalan massacre, I believe it was what they referred to it as. There's I'm a little tongue-tied right now. There's payoff to your investment, and Attack on Titan does not have that. And another problem is that a lot of characters are not written well. There's no real development. And this is something that a lot of people ignore. There's no character development. And sometimes, like Eren, and I'm going to lead into the moment that I hate. Eren is taught lessons, and you would think, okay, he's learned his lesson, and then they're like, no, we got to teach this lesson again, and get people killed. You get more people killed this time. But what remains one of the biggest problems with Attack on Titan is that Isayama constantly kills off characters. Killing off characters is one of my most hated things ever. If handled correctly, I am totally okay with it. In some cases, I even support it. Izzy's death is one of those. Marco's death is one of those. Marco's death was very important to the plot, especially when you find out that Annie was using Marco's 3D maneuver gear to hide and cover herself. I mean, you sat there and you're just like, oh, is this going to come in the plot? Spoilers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't come in at all. They literally never explain this. Just so many potential great plot lines. The reason Isayama kills so many people is because he's a bad writer. This is the short of it. He is a bad writer who does not know how to create drama. So, like a lot of writers, he substitutes this by killing people. And not just killing people, he kills a lot of characters. Anyone outside of the 104th group that joined, essentially New Squad Levi, and then Levi, Hanji, and Erwin, everyone's pretty much cannon fodder. Everyone. Pretty much all the people you meet in the first part of the series, what the anime covers up to the end of the Female Titan arc, most all of them are dead now. They introduce a whole new set of characters. They're constantly introducing new characters, and he's constantly killing them all. Why? Because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. When a writer can't create actual drama, he substitutes it with shock. That's what these deaths are supposed to be. They're supposed to be shock. And it is shocking the first few times. But when it's done over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, it becomes old hat. It's the same trick over and over. It's lost its shock value, and it's just there to be dramatic. Which is ironic, because moments that should be dramatic aren't. I'll get to that. Alright, I'll go on that point, and then I'll go to the point that I hate, and then what I would do to change it. Big moments that you would think would be like major turning points in the story, or that are even are major turning points in the story, are just kind of brushed to the side. No, there's a spoiler for about midway. It's in the I don't remember. I think it's in the 40s in the terms of chapters. But there's a scene where Reiner is just standing there with with Eren, and he's just like, by the way, I'm the Armored Titan. And I'm not kidding. This is out of nowhere. There's no prompting it. There's no one that suspects him. He just turns around and he's like, by the way, Eren, I'm the Armored Titan. I'm pretty much the reason your mom is dead. And I'm just sitting there like, when I was spoiled with that before. My friend told me, yeah, he just kind of blurts out. I'm like, it can't be that stupid. It is that stupid. He literally just like, by the way, I'm the Armored Titan. He doesn't say it loudly. It's not a big point. It's literally one small panel, and he's just like, "Oh yeah." Haynes, one of the biggest side characters, and a guy who Eren knew in his youth when he was younger, who he gets killed in like chapter 50 something, 49, 50, about that. He gets brutally ripped apart on screen. No one mentions it at all. There's no talk. Eren doesn't go, Haynes. No one goes, what happens to Haynes afterwards? It just doesn't happen. And like they treat what should be big moments. Isayama takes big moments and he makes them undramatic. And then he takes undramatic things and tries to make them dramatic. Because he doesn't know what he's doing. And I think this is really clear. He may have had some good ideas, and I do believe that Isayama has some creative ideas. He's just not a plotter. He can't put together a plot. He needs someone to work with to help him with this, to compensate for his lack of skills in actually writing. His editor should be helping him, but apparently his editor is asleep at the wheel. It just kind of lets him do whatever, since Attack on Titan is so popular, people will read it no matter what. But okay. I've spent way too long on this. I mean, there's so many issues in Attack on Titan that I could do a dozen videos just on topics from Attack on Titan. But the one moment that made me go from being cautiously optimistic to outright hating it was the death of Squad Levi. I believe this was chapter 26? I want to say something like 26. Wait a minute. I actually have that chapter. Oh, let me... Oh, this bullcrap. I actually bought this at a convention. It's the convention that I met Angel 89 in person at. Is this... Wait, is this it? No, this isn't. Wait. I must... Okay, there's... Well, I was very mistaken. I was actually very mistaken. Oh, wait, no. It is this. I forgot reading it backwards. Okay, what chapter is this? Man, I was so mad when I was reading this. Okay. You see the stuff like this? Annie's just killing all these guys left and right. This is what the whole thing is. That's all Attack on Titan is. It's a death fest. Because Isayama has no idea how to create drama. You can create a lot of drama without killing a single person. It's possible. Is this even divided up by chapters? It's volume 6. I mean... Oh, wait. Episode 26. Yeah, chapter 26. I was right the first time. Chapter 26. The death of Squad Levi. What do we learn from the death of Squad Levi? Wait. Was I mistaken? I was mistaken. Oh, gosh dang it. It was like 27 or 20. This is not worth looking it up. Let's go with chapter 28. Or 20. Yeah. Okay. Aaron is with... I wasted too much time with that. Aaron is with Squad Levi, and they are... And they're constant... And Levi is constantly going on the... You need to learn to trust me, Aaron. You need to trust me. And Aaron's like, I want to turn into a Titan and save those people. Because Survey Corps members are getting slaughtered left and right by Annie. And Levi's like, wait, no. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. And then Aaron's like, fine, I trust you. And eventually, Annie gets away, and she goes and she kills Gunther, like that, like, out of nowhere, because she can do that, and she turns into a Titan, and Squad Levi basically tells Aaron, we got this, and I was worried, oh, they're gonna die, and what I thought they were gonna learn to trust each other and say, okay, Aaron, we're going to stop this, and you can turn into a Titan and help. No, because that would actually be a smart thing to do. Aaron doesn't turn into a Titan until after they're brutally slaughtered. But oh no, this is the best part. They whoop Annie. Even a man down, they destroy her. They whiz around her, they blind her, they cut her like leg muscles, and it's glorious. It's probably one of my favorite moments. Besides when they first introduced the Survey Corps, when you first see people actually winning against Titans, I mean, it's reliving that grand moment. Screw that darkness. We're totally awesome. We can kill these Titans, and then all of a sudden, she just she focuses her regenerative abilities into one eye, and then instantly kills everyone in a couple pages. I'm not even kidding. Just kills everyone. Petra, the other guys, I don't really remember their names, to be honest. Just kills them. And then Aaron turns into a Titan and fights her, and then loses. And then Mikasa, and then Levi comes in, and then Mikasa screws it up, because nothing can ever go right. I love Squad Levi. I really love Petra, mostly. I also really like the sort of older sister relationship she was forming with Aaron. Their death was the first deaths that I felt were so completely unjustified. They were just there for shock value. I wasn't even sad. I was furious. And I was reading this in my home, and I was still excited, because, I bought it. I bought a volume of it. Because I was sitting there, I was reading it online. I'm like, man, especially for downtime, I'm like, hey, why don't I just read it? And I'm reading it, and I'm sitting at home, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? And then I get on my computer, and then I'm reading this, and I'm excited, and I'm worried, and I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? And then it just happens, and then it hit me. Everything came crashing down, all my expectations, all my cautious optimism, gone. Because I realized all this death was not because there was a point. It wasn't because Isayama really wanted your sympathy or really wanted you to be sad. He just wants to create an emotional reaction in you. He's pulling the cheapest tricks you can by killing a bunch of characters. Even some characters you have almost no emotional attachment to. Later on, reading the manga, because I still read it, just because I wanted to keep up with it, I honestly couldn't remember 90% of the characters that died names. There's no point to, right? This is what Linkara said in his Ultimatums review. When you're constantly killing off all these characters, you're basically telling your audience not to care. That moment there told me not to care. Hey, look, we killed a group of characters that you've gotten attached to. And yeah. Why? I don't know. And apparently Isayama wants to teach lessons with all these deaths. Mike Zacharias, who is a character who is sadly overlooked, he's actually considered humanity's second strongest soldier. Literally the only person who's better than him is freaking Levi, who at this point is covered in so much plot armor. It's freaking ridiculous. He is one of the bullcrap deaths, and apparently his death was to teach us that even the greatest warriors are basically complete wimps who in the face of death. I'm sitting there like, why? Why even bother with this? And that's bullcrap. That's just some lame justification of trying to explain a really bad writing. And that's it. The death of Squad Levi was so fear. Like I caught up with the rest of the manga up to chapter 49. And I was just mad that whole time. Just because I was not in a good mood after Squad Levi was killed. And because not only was I mad personally at it, all of my, my brain was just going, this is really bad writing. And I was just sitting there, I'm like, I've gotten so deep into this. How can I just leave? And I pretty much left now. Only thing I really haven't earned my ships, but... Okay, so let me try to finish this in less than 40 minutes. What would I have done to change Attack on Titan? Okay. This is not a small question. Attack on Titan is so fundamentally flawed. You would have to go back to the Trost arc, to the end of the Trost arc, and completely rewrite the entire manga. To me, I've tried rewriting stuff, and for a while I did kind of have some rewrites of saying, I changed this minor event. Like, let's say the Squad Levi wasn't hurt, but during a fight between the Titans, they got injured, and they were out of commission. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is my headcanon, nice. Because that's really the only way I kept reading it and surviving. But then things kept piling on, and it got to the point where I couldn't handle it. If anyone's familiar with the game Mind Jack, it's a really awful game with a really crappy story. The story is so bad. I actually, at first when I was seeing it, I'm like, man, I could rewrite this into something decent. As I finished a playthrough watching a playthrough of the game, I sat there like, the story is so bad, I cannot rewrite it. I consider Attack on Titans on that. I mean, unless you went back and completely erased basically pretty much 50 chapters worth of writing. Just cut it out, start new, right when the Trost arc ends. That right there is too much work. I've legitimately given up on trying to rewrite Attack on Titan, which says a lot. I planned rewrite stuff for for Mass Effect to fix all the issues of Mass Effect 2 and 3. I have ideas for Metal Gear Solid. I have this entire rewrite of the Metal Gear Solid saga that completely changes everything, and it says something that Attack on Titan I consider so screwed up that even the mess that is Metal Gear Solid canon is easier to rewrite than this. Because at least Metal Gear Solid always has a few good ideas, even in the worst stuff like Metal Gear Solid 4. There's some good ideas in there. A lot of bad ones, but there are a few good ones. With Attack on Titan, it's just so much of it. It's just no, it's bad. And the few good ideas are never elaborated on, or characters that might reveal something are killed off. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Janie. I have neither the time nor the energy to rewrite Attack on Titan. It's just so bad, and that's the only way to describe it. It's bad. I don't understand how it's still so popular. And I swear, once we finally get to the end of Attack on Titan, we're fine. When the inevitable, completely stupid conclusion of this, that's going to be just like Lost, and so unsatisfying, and such a big middle finger to people who've stuck with the 6 years now? Yeah, all these years of dedicated of their lives to Attack on Titan, it's gonna come crashing down at some point. Even the biggest fans will turn on it at some point. or they're going to or they're going to be completely delusional and completely ignore all of the issues with it because they like it, so therefore it can't be wrong. So yeah, I think I'm finally done. In conclusion, Squad Levi's death is what really made me realize that Attack on Titan was bad. Mainly because they took characters that you really cared about and they killed them for no reason other than shock value. And then after that, it's constantly repeating the same problem. Hey, this character, dead. This character, dead. And a few of the deaths are okay, like Nadaba's death. I don't like it, but it wasn't framed as badly as the other one, so I can kind of let it slide. Mike's death, bad. Just so many death. Haynes' death, bad. And then all the other almost nameless characters that are just straight up red shirts. Dead, dead, dead. All to push Isayama's dark themes. And it's exhausting. I've pretty much given up on caring about it at this point. I stuck with it for air curry moments and stuff with Aaron and Historia, but at this point, no. I can't do it. The latest chapter released and I just can't watch it. Or read it. Because this is exhausting. And just trying to keep up with Isayama's writing is absurd. Okay. Okay, I've reached the end. This video is over. I'm expecting this to be one of my longest videos. And it's mostly me rambling. I do apologize if I seem a little less analytical and a little more emotional in this video. This is the first topic that I've had something that I actually feel incredibly strong about in terms of negativity. I mean, like, I'm very negative towards this, and I tried to remain as I tried to remain as calm as possible in this, but it's hard because I have so much hatred for Attack on Titan, but honestly, I could do so many topics on this, like other topics. I mean, you think I talked a lot about this? There's more. There's more to talk about. Not even just with Isayama himself, there's stuff to talk about. But I won't run this on any longer. The video, okay, that's it. I'm done. Like, I covered the whole topic. And then some. Attack on Titan just kills too many people. Okay. If you want to submit a topic, just send me an ask on my Tumblr, coolman229.tumblr.com. Just put topic : in the front, and then just write the topic. Or if you're on YouTube, post a topic in the comments, which no one's done that yet, but just in case. I also have some rules for my topics, and they'll be posted below in the description. So thank you for watching this video. I feel like this is really one of my most disorganized ones, but I always feel all my videos are disorganized. It's always better than I think, but really, alright, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.